Alright. MBM sessions, what it do? Say what up. So the reason why I haven't been posting every day is because I've been trying to focus more on my priorities and shit. So I just had a son. He's 1 month old now. So it's kinda like I'm trying to be there for him every single second. So it's like I prioritize him over this shit. Although I do may seem like I need some downtime and some getaway time, and I'm like, hell no, I'm not missing out no time to be without my son. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I'm not prioritizing anything over this, and it's kind of like I even had to quit my job because I had to quit my job, bro, to spend more time with my son, to be here for my newborn. And the reason why I quit that weak ass job was because there's certain type of people that's not considerate of other people's situations, right? And I don't want to make this a race issue or anything about race, but you can actually tell when a person is kind of deceitful, and I'm not going to you can tell when a person is prejudiced, racist, not considerate, uh, just flat out don't care about your situation. I left that weak ass job because of that shit. And here's an example of why I left. When I had my son, the first week I had my son, the job, I'm not even gonna say the job. The new manager that I had um was basically denying my time. I was denied FMLA for having a newborn. Um, yeah, he just was flat out denying my time, and I just had to go into like ADP and put my own time in, and it just got to a point where a lot of shit was going on at that job, where a lot of people that's of my race was kind of not being considerate of my situation at all. A lot of people of my race, they didn't want to see me succeed. They still don't want to see me succeed. Um, they they were just flat out being negative, deceitful, rude, disrespectful. They was trying to get me fired. The last week that I worked, it was an accusation against me that I threatened a young lady, a young black lady, which I would never do. So it just got to a point where I just can't jeopardize my freedom and not be there for my newborn, right? And also, it was kind of like I really wasn't being heard. Nobody was being considerate of my thoughts, my opinions, how I felt, my work ethic. I was probably one of the hardest working people that was in that department. I got word that after I left, they don't know what they're gonna do. So it's kind of like I don't know, man. Although I did find a better opportunity, the day that I left that job, I was called and offered a better opportunity with a better schedule. But let me get back to how I started this situation. So the reason why I left that weak ass job was because I left that weak ass job because yeah, they just wasn't trying to give me any time to be there for my son. They wouldn't accept my doctor notes as far as the pediatrician notes. Um, he was just the manager was just flat out being a asshole, an atheist asshole. That's what he was. Um, and also when I call for like to use my sick time, it wasn't acknowledged. When I call and say, "Hey, I need to do this to take care of some stuff for my newborn," it was disregarded, swept under the rug, discarded. It just wasn't taken into consideration, right? It wasn't taken into consideration, and every time I would call this clown ass manager, um, he would be off site picking up his son, dropping off his son, taking his son places. Every time I have a face to face conversation, it would seem like this dude was high or some shit. Like it was just he was like high out of his mind. And I just got to a breaking point where I didn't want to deal with that. And as a young black man in 2026, I'm not going to deal with that type of racism, that type of biasness, that type of prejudiceness. Yeah, it's too many opportunities. It's so much money out here for someone to settle for a place like that, and where I just like I said, I just reached that breaking point where I wasn't trying to deal with that shit. Every single day I was going home with a headache, either from this clown ass manager or these deceitful negative people of my race wanting to see me fail, setting me up for small shit, um, trying to get me fired. So I just took that walk. I took that leap of faith. Um, I just and like I said, I've always been a risk taker. I always been that type of person. I don't really settle for bullshit. I don't settle for that type of shit. So it's kind of like I'm going to win regardless. I'm going to win without a job or with a job. I'm going to be successful with a job or without a job. Either way, I'm going to win and be successful. A lot of people don't give me the benefit of the doubt like I would give them the benefit of the doubt. A lot of people just flat out want respect from me, but they don't earn the respect. So although I do look young, I look like a teenager. I'm 30 years old. I'm a grown man. I don't really settle for bullshit at all. Like I said, it's too many opportunities out here for someone to win. It's so much money out here to be made. And ever since I left that job, I've been exceeding in life. I have been taking care of a lot of stuff. I taken care of so much stuff within that week that I left that weak ass job. What's up, son? Yeah. So it was just to the point where I already knew it wasn't going to be long term. I used those types of jobs to for a come up. Matter of fact, I use those jobs for a come up and to be able to have a safety net, a savings, emergency fund, and like I explained to them, I don't have to work this job. I don't settle for this. I have enough credentials, a degree, certifications that I can find a job just like that within a week or so. And that's what I did. And they didn't take it serious enough, so they just didn't take me serious, bro. And I'm real passionate about what I do and the type of work that I do. And like I said, I'm not gonna work for a racist prejudice manager. I'm not going to I'm not going to settle for less. Point blank period. It's not the 1930s, it's not the 1800s or none of that shit. I just don't settle for less. I'm not going to settle for less. And I kind of, and I'm not going to say this in a way where it sound kind of deceitful, but I kind of see why a lot of young black men don't want to work in corporate America because it seems like a modern day plantation. These people don't care about you. They're not considerate. They're prejudiced. Some of them racist. And let me state this for the record. I love white people. I love white people. I have white friends. I met a lot of cool white friends at that job. I met a lot of cool Asian dudes at that job, man. And we became, you know, we became close where we even played a game together. We followed each other on social media. And like, I'm not that type of person to look at every single person of that race and judge them by the color of their skin. I'm not that type of person. I have, like I said, I have white friends, Asian friends, Hispanic friends. One of my best friends is Mexican, so it's kind of like, and the reason why I can see that and the way how I'm aware of that is because a lot of my Asian and white friends, even Latino friends, they tell me a lot of stuff to watch out for, and certain demographics of people. You know, it's not headbutting me, man. But the sky's the limit, man. The sky's the limit. Never give up. Don't settle. Don't settle for these weak ass jobs. There's a lot of jobs that'll give you the opportunity. There's a lot of people in different races and demographics that would give you an opportunity, a better opportunity. And like I said, these people were just not being considerate of my situation. Every time I would call this clown, he would be, like I said, out picking up his son. But when it comes to my son, oh, you can't get time off, or it just was no communication at all. Uh, I just been taking some time out to actually, just spend time with my newborn, my son. I have been posting content here and there, but it hasn't been consistent because of my situation. So I just wanted to put that out there for all my subs and subscribers, man. Like, I've been grinding, man. And when I say grinding, not just on social media, I'm taking different classes. And the reason why I don't settle for shit because I've been to barber school. I have my insurance license. I'm going to school for real estate. I've taken biotech classes. I've taken IT classes, IT courses. I have a degree, so it kind of like you don't have. I don't have to settle for a lot of bullshit that every other person have to settle for. You get what I'm saying? So it's the MBM sessions podcast, money, business, music, uh, and motivation. I would definitely put out more motivational content like this. So just don't give up, man. As a young black man, don't give up. I know it's a lot of people out there that have suicidal thoughts, depressional thoughts. You're not alone in this shit, man. Real talk. You're not alone. You're not the only one that's been through that shit. Make sure you hit that subscribe, follow. Make sure you comment. And make sure you stay great, man. Never give up. Never settle for bullshit. Out. Damn.